The United States has suspended sanctions on Iranian oil as U.S. President Donald Trump has cleared that Iran will agree to have weapon inspections to ensure nuclear honesty long into the future, echoing comments made by his Vice President JD Vance. Listen to this first.
This is probably what we're most excited about as Americans. The Iranians have agreed to invite IAEA inspectors back into their country. That is a major milestone for the American people and the first step in permanently denuclearizing or permanently ending a nuclear weapons program in Iran.
Iran was quick to respond, with its foreign ministry saying that Iran had made no commitments on nuclear inspections. Ministry spokesperson Esma Baghir maintained that any engagement with UN inspectors would take place under existing procedures set by Parliament and the Supreme National Security Council. While leaving Switzerland, when asked about the negotiations, Vance said that the Iranian officials can be confusing sometimes. He, however, struck an optimistic tone, saying the talks had laid a good foundation for a final peace deal.
This is laying a foundation for what could be a truly transformed Middle East. But we haven't built the house yet. We're going to have to keep on building, and that's what we'll do.
Iran and Washington signed a memorandum of understanding last week, laying the groundwork for the Switzerland negotiations after nearly 40 days of fighting that were followed by a shaky ceasefire. Mediators Pakistan and Qatar say that U.S. and Iranian negotiators reached agreement on a roadmap towards reaching a final deal within 60 days. After first round of talks on Sunday, with technical talks to continue for the rest of the week at the Swiss resort. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, meanwhile, is due to start a trip to the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Bahrain. His spokesperson said that it is to discuss the deal and efforts to secure full and free, safe transit through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's chief negotiator, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, has said that the strait will never return to its prior conditions and will be administered by the Islamic Republic in accordance with international law. Now, tracking data on Monday showed vessels were still transiting the strait, despite Iran saying on Saturday that it had closed it again over Israeli attacks in Lebanon. In the weeks and days before the U.S.-Iran talks, the war in Lebanon between Israel and Iran's close ally, Hezbollah, threatened to derail the ceasefire, though the country has been relatively calm since Saturday evening. While Ghalibaf, while speaking to reporters, said talks will only be successful if Lebanon's territorial integrity is secured. The remarks come as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared that Israeli forces have been granted full freedom of action to thwart any direct or developing threat to them or the residents to the north. And to give us more details, our correspondent Susan Tarani sent us a report from New York.
President Trump says that Iran is prepared to allow major UN inspection of its nuclear facilities, a key demand of the United States as negotiations move into a new phase. But Tehran is disputing that claim, saying that no commitment has been made regarding inspections or otherwise. Meanwhile, U.S. Vice President JD Vance talks of progress being made after nearly 9 hours of talks in Switzerland, stressing that any sanctions relief or release of frozen Iranian funds will ultimately depend on continued Iranian compliance. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is planning to travel to the Gulf region to consult with U.S. partners and build support for this ongoing diplomatic effort. So the focus now shifts to technical negotiations and inspections, sanctions relief, as well as verification, with the administration hoping to turn this temporary agreement into a broader agreement in the weeks and possibly months ahead. Susan Tahrani reporting from New York for WION World as well.